Ever wonder how ChatGPT can assist with all of your RPG creation needs, like world building, NPC creation, plot hook, storylines, custom items, spells, or abilities? Then stay tuned for today's episode. Hello and welcome to RPG PhD. I'm Dr. Ben, and today we'll discuss and explore the potential benefits of using ChatGPT in your tabletop gaming sessions. By leveraging this AI language model, you can create richer, more immersive campaigns and elevate your gameplay experience for both you and your players. For those of you that aren't familiar with ChatGPT, it's an AI language model created by OpenAI. It can understand and generate human-like text based on the input it receives. This AI can be a game changer for your next tabletop campaign. Let's break down how ChatGPT can help you in some different ways. First, world building. So, crafting a detailed and immersive world can be time-consuming. But ChatGPT can help speed up the process. Just give it a few key details and it can generate descriptions, histories, or cultures for your world. Just input something like this. Generate a description of a coastal city with a rich history. And this is what ChatGPT comes back with.
Nestled along the rugged coastline, the coastal city exudes an aura of timeless charm and rich cultural heritage. From its cobbled streets lined with ancient stone buildings to the bustling harbor where fishing boats bob gently in the azure waters, the city is a testament to its colorful past.
And voila! ChatGPT will come up with a detailed description for your city, saving you time and providing inspiration for your setting. Next, NPC creation. Coming up with interesting and unique non-player characters can be challenging, but ChatGPT can lend a hand there too. Provide the AI with some basic info like species, class, and occupation, and it can generate a detailed backstory, personality traits, and even dialogue for your NPC. So let's see an example. Create a backstory and personality for a half-elf bard who is a local tavern owner.
Born to an elven mother and a human father, Arya grew up in a small village on the outskirts of a bustling city. From a young age, she showed a natural talent for music and storytelling, spending her days strumming her lute and spinning tales for anyone who would listen. Of course, it generates a lot more information here, and again, you can have it go into more detail if that's what you need for your particular campaign. But it's a great way of coming up with a quick backstory for an NPC on the fly. Or if you are trying to create an NPC with wider reaching effects in your campaign, another great way to create something, or at least give you a starting place. But sometimes I can find these things to be a little generic, but for the most part, I think they are a great starting place, and for minor characters, I think that it does quite a good job.
And there you have it, a unique and engaging NPC your players will love to interact with. If you're new here and you find this video useful, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Plot hooks and storylines. Sometimes coming up with new adventures can be tricky. ChatGPT can assist by generating story ideas based on your input. Just give it some context or a theme and it'll create a compelling plot hook or storyline for your game. For example, let's say we ask it to generate a storyline involving a mysterious artifact and a hidden cult.
The kingdom of Eldoria was renowned for its wealth and prosperity, but beneath the surface a dark force was at work. For centuries, a secret cult had begun gathering in the shadows, worshipping an ancient artifact that they believed held the power to grant immortality. Generating these storylines or plot hooks or quests, I think, is a really great use for ChatGPT. It can come up with some interesting ideas, maybe some things you haven't thought of before, or maybe taking some ideas that you already have and can sort of expand on them a bit. So play around with this and see what it comes up. I think, especially for side quests or things that come up in the moment, or even for planning a campaign.
Improvisation during games. Players often go off script, and sometimes you need to come up with something on the fly. ChatGPT can be your secret weapon. Just type in a question or request, and it'll provide a response that fits the context. For instance, if your players suddenly decide to visit a random shop, just ask ChatGPT something like this. Describe a small, quirky magic item shop.
Tucked away in a narrow alleyway, the small magic item shop seems almost invisible to the untrained eye, but for those who know where to look, it's a hidden gem, bursting with charm and character. As you step inside, the scent of incense and candle wax wafts over you, accompanied by the tinkling of a tiny bell above the door. The walls are lined with shelves and display cases, each one overflowing with an eclectic mix of magical trinkets, curiosities, and oddities. Now, I know as a DM, I don't know how many times I've had players decide they want to go into a local shop or go into a local place, whether it be a temple or something else, and I've had to generate descriptions on the fly. And that's the thing, you can use ChatGPT during the game. I've done this as well, and I found it really useful.
Rules and mechanics assistance. As a DM or GM, you know that remembering all the rules can be tough, especially when you're juggling everything else during a game session. ChatGPT can help you with quick rule references or explanations. For example, if you're unsure about a specific spell or ability, just ask something like, explain the D&D 5e spell Counterspell.
Counterspell is a powerful spell in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition that allows the spellcaster to interrupt and negate any enemy spells that's being cast. When an enemy spellcaster begins casting a spell within 60 feet of the spellcaster who knows Counterspell, the spellcaster can use their reaction to attempt to counter the spell. And of course it goes on, and you can get it to add more detail about the rules as well, or different rulings.
And there you go, ChatGPT will provide you with a concise explanation so you can keep the game moving without any disruptions. Encounter creation. Crafting memorable and balanced encounters is key to keeping your players engaged. ChatGPT can help you generate encounters that suit your party's level and the environment they're in. Just provide some context and let the AI do the work. For example, create a balanced encounter for a level 5 party in a dense forest.
For a level 5 party in a dense forest, a balanced encounter could include a group of bandits who have taken up residence in the forest, ambushing travelers and robbing them of their valuables. The encounter might begin with the party hearing the sound of rustling bushes or the snap of a twig, alerting them to the presence of their foes. The bandits could then emerge from the undergrowth brandishing weapons and demanding the party's valuables. Again, encounter creation, it's really good at doing this as well. You can give it the parameters, the monsters that you're looking for, the types of foes, how challenging you want it to be. You can give it all that information and it will generate some of these scenarios for you. And it can give you sort of flavor text, if you will, if that's your DMing style, to sort of read flavor text or to sort of explain flavor text. Again, great for random encounters as well if you need to do something on the fly. So another great use of the tool.
With ChatGPT's help, you'll have a tailor-made encounter ready to challenge and excite your players. Puzzle and riddle design. So, incorporating puzzles and riddles can make your game even more immersive, but coming up with unique ideas can be tough. ChatGPT can generate puzzles or riddles or even poetry, if you like, in-game poetry, that fit your theme or storyline. Just give it a hint about what you're looking for, something like this. Create a riddle related to a hidden treasure.
I am something many seek, a fortune vast and rare. My hiding place is far from bleak, but only a few will dare. I'm buried deep beneath the ground in a place few have explored, with clues and hints that must be found. My treasure can't be ignored. So follow me through twists and turns, through mountains, lakes, and seas. For those who seek and those who yearn, my riches are the key. What am I?
And once again, you have a custom-made riddle that will have your players scratching their heads and working together to try and solve. Custom magic items. So adding unique and flavorful magic items can be a fantastic way to reward your players and enrich your game world. ChatGPT can help you design one-of-a-kind magic items tailored to your campaign. Just provide some guidelines or themes, something like this. Create a magical weapon for a nature-themed campaign.
One magical weapon that will be fitting for a nature-themed campaign is the Thorn Blade, a sword made from a branch of an ancient tree. Imbued with the power of nature itself, the thorn blade is a long sword with a blade made from a thorn-covered branch of an ancient oak tree. The hilt is crafted from the same wood, is adorned with delicate vines and leaves. When wielded by a skilled warrior, the thorn blade can unleash powerful attacks that harness the power of nature. And again, it goes into those details, and you can actually get ChatGPT to sort of spell out, if you want, all the items. It'll tell you if it's a +1 weapon, what sort of damage it does, what sort of magic abilities it has, whether it's sentient or not, all those things.
Of course, you can tailor make these items. You can say, I'd like a magical sword with certain kinds of properties. You can give it parameters about limiting things or adding things. So it makes a really great way of coming up with magic items and creating things, especially if you want to try to create something on the fly, or as I said before, if you're looking to prep a game, it can save you a lot of time and effort to sit down and prep some of these things ahead of time. And there you are, a custom magic item your players will be eager to discover and use in their adventures. In-game books and lore. Fleshing out your world with lore and written works can add depth and immersion to your campaign. ChatGPT can help you generate content for books, scrolls, or other written works your players may encounter. Just provide a topic or theme and let the AI do the work. For example, write a short excerpt from a historical book about an ancient battle.
As the sun began to rise on the morning of the battle, the sound of pounding hooves echoed through the valley, signaling the approach of the enemy army. The ground shook beneath the feet of the warriors as they rushed to take their positions, their faces set in grim determination. Being able to create books and in-game text is really great, especially if you have characters that like to do a lot of research. You can sort of ask ChatGPT to sort of build some histories in, and characters will say, hey, what did I find? And you can sort of give them some of this information, which both flavors the world in which they inhabit, as well as give you some additional information and campaign building and world building. So really great use, again, on the fly.
Now you have a piece of in-game literature that can provide valuable information or simply add flavor to your world. That's all for today, but remember, ChatGPT's capabilities are vast, and you can surely find even more ways to enhance your tabletop RPG experience. If you come up with other creative uses for ChatGPT in your games, be sure to share them with us in the comments section. As always, don't forget to hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe for more content. Happy gaming, and until next time.